Happy New Year's, but there's still no time to rest. We've got some hot takes in this video, and if something can rile you up, it's definitely a hot take. Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we got some hot takes. Drop a hot take and I will potentially use it for an upcoming video. You don't have to believe it. I'll go first. Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta hasn't fallen off, but he's unusable due to counters. In this series, I take you guys' hot takes on Twitter, so if you haven't followed me on Twitter, go ahead and do that at Zakashi with 3 eyes, X if you will. I put out a tweet often, so if you want to participate next time, I only take hot takes on Twitter. So follow me there, turn on post notifications, and regarding my hot take, it should be pretty self-explanatory if you think about it for a second, but on the surface, it's like, no way. It's really because G4 is yellow that he's hard countered by these units. Minus Triku, I guess, but if you change his element, or even just keep him the way he is, and you put him up against the green, he is a powerful person, and those greens will be threatened. So the best way to put it is, he's still G4 as we know him, but yellow beats purple, so he can't operate as best as he can, because if there was another element in front of him, he would break them down, but you can't bring him as easily with the risk of knowing every team will have a yellow. Let's get into your hot takes now. Alright, so we got the first hot take here. We got Jams. You know, Super 17 is always going to be involved. Anyways, he says these are the 3 best aging LFs of the year, and he's got Legends Limited Super 17, Legends Limited Ultimate Gohan, and Fusing Super Vegito. Is this wrong? I don't think so. There's not many good LFs this year, and not gonna lie, these guys, except him, released at the beginning of the year, so this is agreeable. You know, nobody that released before the anniversary besides Super 17 as an LL is really hanging about. Super Baby 2 is really just out of there pretty much. Nappa and Vegeta out of there pretty much. Bombku out of there pretty much. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I don't think I am. So yeah, Super 17, you got that. This is agreeable. Ultimate Gohan should go without saying. And Fusing Super Vegito, Rise and Rush is just, it's just safe, you know. Works against Majin Vegeta, you know, but not Beast. But yeah, agreeable. You got that, bro. Got a hot take from Dingy_YT. The boy, shout out him for tier lists. He's currently the most slept on unit in the game. He's insane, but gets close to 0 acknowledgement. I actually can agree with this. I think this is agreeable. For most slept on, I think the damage his blue card does is absurd, and he's quite consistent with his damage. His healing potential is really good as well, and his tanking potential is pretty good. And if one person dies, you know, that lock-in is still in existence. He can nullify endurance for a long while after he hits an ultimate, but a lot of people will cancel buff, so we're going to ignore that. But everything else, pretty much just going type neutral every time he does a blue card, and that's uncancelable. Yeah, this guy's elite, man. This one's agreeable for sure for me. I haven't seen anybody talking about him, but like, he's still so quality. His platinum equipment is done him justice. It's not going to make him last for a long time, in my opinion, but for now, he's up there, man. He is up there. We've got here Dick Gallo, LR Tech, Super Saiyan Goku and Gohan. He's saying most underrated Zenkai of the year. They are still viable and fun to use. This is agreeable. I spoke about Boo Bros a lot. I personally don't like using them because I don't like the prep gauge system. I feel like if you get the prep gauge, unless it's like Gammas 1 and 2, where you can switch out, you know, and then you can just use it smart, it's pretty much useless. Because, you know, for one, it might not do enough damage, and for 2, Boo Bros kind of set themselves up for failure. But it's really fun, which is the one thing he's talking about, and viable means just that they can be used. So I would say this one for sure is agreeable. Underrated for sure as well, even though they're probably like the worst one. What do we have this year? Kid Buu, Corrupted Zamasu. Blue Bros are gonna appear on the first, so they're lucky. They might be buns. Is there anybody else that Zenkai that I'm missing? I don't think so. Let's not say they're the worst though, but they're not better than Corrupted Zamasu or Kid Buu, you know? So, solid take, I agree. We got a hot take from Flashin' A29, Frieza-sama. Just as Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's value skyrocketed with the release of Ultra Beast Gohan, LF Super 17's value is coming back up, as well as his green card lock-in property allowing a one-off usage of an ult or a rush without fear of Beast Gohan's counter gauge. Okay, I can get behind this. The difference is though, I'm not disagreeing that Super 17's value is going up, but it's not going up in the same way as Ultra Gohan because Super 17 doesn't protect himself, and if you had to run him, you'd have to put him with a team where he's not exactly protected. Like, you're gonna run Omega Shenron. Not saying you can't, but that's a much weaker team than any meta relevant team. And if you want to super Zenkai buff this guy, even if you have him 14 star, which I do, so I've tried this, he's still weak on the defensive end. So no Zenkai buffs with not a 14 star, you know, you're gonna be in a pinch. If you don't land that green card, it's not the best situation. So I'll say agreeable because I'm understanding what you're saying. But let's not say he's like equal to Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's rise in value, because Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's value has risen exponentially. But, you know, I'm not going to say LF17 Super 17's value hasn't. Got a take here from Hyperonics. Banners need to be completely reworked. There should be no reason that someone gets 50k without a copy of the new unit. Either that or they add a new way to get crystals at a decent rate. Also remove the 20k CC cap. Okay, so there's multiple things to break down here. Banners need to be completely reworked. I think only the Ultras would be agreeable. The Legends Limiteds can stay the same, but I think if it's going to be better rates in any sense, people will say, oh yeah, that's good, that's good. So for this, I'm just gonna say neutral. So I'm gonna do like a balance. So if I agree with 2 or say agreeable for 2, then, you know, there should be no reason that someone goes 50k without a copy of a new unit. That's not really, you know, on Legend Limited it doesn't happen, but cool. Either that or add a new way to get crystals. Nobody's gonna disagree with that. And also remove 20k CC cap. No one's gonna disagree with that. I'm just gonna say agreeable. Like, you're saying pretty obvious stuff. This is not really a hot take, you know. But yeah, you got it. We got a take here from ZenTZZ. This is the best aging unit of 2024 and it's not even close. And he's got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I don't think this is disagreeable at all. I think this is agreeable. Especially considering when he dropped. It's hard to compare to a unit that dropped in the second half of the year. Out of all the units in the first half of the year, this guy's the best. So yeah, agreeable. I'm not even going to spend time on this. We've got a take here from Son Goku Azas 420. As much as we all hate UMV, I'm pretty sure we can agree that if anyone deserves an ultra like this, it was Vegeta Clan / Vegeta in general. I agree. I'm not gonna say he deserves it the most, because deserve is in the eye of the holder. For example, if a unit like this is going to exist, I would want it to be an anniversary unit, a festival unit, not just a regular unit. But if it is going to be a regular unit, I feel like it shouldn't be an antagonist. It could be, but I don't feel like it should be. You know, deserves is a very strong word. But Vegeta Clan have been getting snubbed. And let's not act like Vegeta Clan hasn't got stuff this year. They got Nappa and Vegeta. They got Fusing Super Vegeta. They got Fusing Gogeta Blue too. But I know those units come like with something on the side. They're not pure Vegeta Clan or just a Vegeta unit. So I'm not against this unit, you know, saying this is agreeable. I'm not against this unit being one that deserves it. Just saying it deserves the most, which you didn't say, I would disagree. But because of what you said, I agree. I think most people would be in agreement with this as well. I say it's agreeable. We got one from Silly Boys 69. This guy right here is the most healthiest, and that's shocking considering how they usually treat Gohans. I agree, but there's a condition on me agreeing. Beast Gohan's kit is by no means healthy, but the game is so unhealthy that his release corrects how unhealthy the game is. With the infinite combos UMV releasing Majin Buu Saga, Beast Gohan in addition doesn't fit within those boxes and that playstyle. He contradicts it completely. Just like what G4 done in the anniversary, straight powerhouse unit with big damage, Beast Gohan has fit that exact caliber, fit that exact role, and he's taken over the festival to stop the madness that's going on. That's why he's healthy. But his kit in general is by no means healthy. Because imagine we're in a healthy meta, then he drops. We were having fun, you know, trading blows, no infinite combos, kind of doing decent damage, and we're taking advantage of our nicely built teams. Then Beast Gohan just loads up a... We don't need that. We don't need that. But obviously, I'm going to say agreeable because of the situation right now. We know, you know. You got to remember that though. Some people might have not realized that, but the situation helps out a lot, so nobody's dealing with these 99,000 combos that don't even exist. But you know what I'm saying. There's something on my screen here that's annoying me, but you know, let's continue. So this is an opinion type one. I kind of glanced over it. Got it from Griffin here. I do not care about hype, characters, I want to see stuff that hasn't been done before or has been done very few times. I'm bored of the constant recycling of characters and moments for every major celebration. This isn't a hot take, this is like an opinion, but I'm gonna use your opinion as if it was a hot take. So let's say hype characters are boring, let's just say, or something like that. But that's not what you're saying. But let's just say not caring about hype characters, we have to disagree. What you need to realize is the game would not earn money to build the creative characters that they do if they don't drop the hype characters. No matter how much people cry about this, there's no thought process. They just think the devs have infinite money glitch and they can just do stuff and not care about their own pockets, bro. They need to make a profit and they have quotas to meet. Then what annoyed me at the start? Flower Boy Lyrie. You're trolling. Garlic Jr. more hype than UMV, to be honest. You're trolling. There's too many humans on this planet. Because why does this exist? No, but bro, you really looked at Garlic Jr. and you said, yeah, it is banging more than UMV. And I'm not saying you can't have your opinion. This is why they're gonna keep releasing hype stuff, because trusting you with the Garlic Jr. opinion, I know I'm frying you right now and it's not that deep, you can have your opinion. But goddamn, if you was the dev, Legends will be dead right now. Flipping heck, man. But what I will say is, to end off this point, because it's obviously disagreeable, let's be honest, not caring about hype characters is ridiculous. It's just about their execution. So in regards to this, you want to see stuff that hasn't been done before or has been done very few times. I think if they execute things in a very unique way, the hype characters will be understandable. We've seen fusing Super Vegito with Kakarot animations. I always bring up Dokkan Battle, but you see Vegito, he has like the spirit sword in his hand, then he has like this key thing. Oh, somebody subscribe, let me turn that sound off. He has that key thing floating around him. It's really cool. Then you see Gogeta Blue from the Broly movie, he's got like the key blade here, then he's got key over here, and then he puts it together to do like a final flash. Like, Do can be doing interesting stuff, and if Legends get more stuff like that, we would go crazy. Bardock and Goku being the biggest example. We got a whole Legends original character. We've got final Heat Dome Kamehameha. Fair enough, it's Vegito Blue because the rest of it is the same. Just the legendary finish isn't enough. They need to really make the game feel fresh at all times. And I think that's where we'll start seeing, yeah, this game is a good point. But I can understand your feelings regarding this, but you're not, you're dragging it. Like, this is a drag. Like, this is not real. UMV of all people too. Like, bro, of all people, like, you could have said more hype. He's not more hype than Vegito anyways, but if you said Vegito, I would at least understand because they've dropped so many. But UMV, why you say F him for? They don't give Vegeta Clan anything. God damn, man. Yeah, but I have to disagree. Hold that. Yano's turn. We got one here. Hot take. Ultra Vegito Blue's Vanish Restoration on KO is the most skill rewarding mechanic in the game. In my honest opinion, it's the main reason why he's still top 20 in the game. As in, I'm assuming he means the usage list, even though he just got kicked out of it. But yeah, continue. When your back is against the wall, UVB makes it 10 times easier to clutch, wins when he is last man standing. Will I say most rewarding, most skill? You said skill rewarding. I have to disagree, because he also has the vanish, you know, the vanish restore and the green card, which isn't really skill. The vanish removal, sorry, and the green card. Imagine not using him the whole time, then you switch into him, then you rising rush. You vanish from rising rush, basically. You know, you get your vanish back if you used it with him, or even if you used it with someone else, you wouldn't have lost your vanish. And you can just get a free kill. After that, you can pretty much press the main maybe if you rise and rush first time. If they tackle, you get another free kill. You know, I don't feel like with UVB it's the most rewarding. The mechanic itself, yes, but because it's on UVB, I don't feel like it's rewarding because he's autopilot. Would I say there's anything else that's the most rewarding thing in the game? I feel like you could put the Gammas in the conversation potentially, or the Boo-Bros when you get their prep gauge off. If you actually got it, that's skill rewarding because you had to work for that, you know. But with the rest of what you're saying, like the main reason why he's still top 20, I'm assuming he's referring to the usage list. I understand. Like, if you have a brain, you understand why people use UVB. I feel like people just like to hate on him because too many people glaze him, but he's actually good. It's weird, you know, when you get into like the debate, because so many people have biasly put him at high points where like people just want to shut him down just because he's Vegito Blue. They don't actually process what he's capable of doing. So yeah, I'm gonna disagree, I'm not being neutral. I don't think it's the most skill rewarding thing on UVB's. You specifically specified his Vanish Restoration. I have to disagree, man. Sorry. Tech UI Goku here. Ultra Beast Gohan could have been the best unit in the game if he's red. Well, in my personal opinion, I think it's interchangeable between him and Ultra Major Vegeta. So for that reason, saying he could have, when I kind of consider him as part of the best units in the game, if not one, he's two. You know, I think this is agreeable. For the people that disagree, it would be a confirmed #1 if he was red. So, you know, I think this is agreeable. I think most people can agree with this. It would be a unanimous decision. Everybody would be in agreement because he can take out Ultra Major Vegeta. He wouldn't even worry about the blues because the prep guy, the active gauge is so crazy and he does good damage. Is what it is, man. Valid. We got a take here from the Moyeo. Hopefully I said that right. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, seriously. I feel like the introduction of the active gauge means we might see more fun mechanics and units in 2025. Even though this is not really a hot take, it's more like, you know, a feeling. You wasn't firm on this take and you could tell that. That's why you're saying I feel. You didn't want to like saying as a definitive, but whatever. I'm gonna say this is agreeable. It's a very fun mechanic in general. You know, you work towards something and then you press the button and you can actually miss it because it can be tapped out of, and then you hit them and you basically guarantee yourself a body. That's pretty nice. But I feel like, no, we can objectively say, I'm coming like a saggy, we will win the Under-20 World Cup. No, that's not right. I will lead. Yo, but yeah, you could have said this about so many other mechanics in the past, like Boobro's prep time gauge, Ultra Vegeta Blue's tap actions art, even mechanics that are not necessarily fun, like Go Frieza's Rising Rush, you know? You could have said this a while ago, so they kind of gradually introduced stuff. Even Bardock and Goku Indestructible, that's a nice little touch. Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with the blue card counter, they brought it back. Even the block, they brought that, you know? G4, like G4's Blink, there's so many mechanics they've dropped, so they've been doing more fun mechanics for sure. Some of them are overpowered, but I guess it's who meets the eye. Like this active gauge thing is insane. It's one of the most broken things we've got in the game ever. So I'm gonna agree with you, but like you could have said this about anything, and I don't really feel like this is a hot take. We got a take here from Sag. Out of all the Beast Gohans we got, the Ultra is the most balanced we got on release. I will agree. No, will I agree? Red Beast, okay, Blue Beast, he's not balanced, so he's out of the question. So Red Beast is the only one for debate, and I'm considering it because he was rivaling Evoken. So in a sense where you could actually use a whole other team and maybe get better results, especially when that Zenkai LF Jiren and MVP 17 team came out, you could argue that Beast Gohan against the long combos and then Beast Gohan being the powerful aggressor, you know, having that, you could also say that was balanced, but then Beast Gohan went on to be an absolute nuker of a problem. So depending on how they go about their next release, this could be agreeable. You know, I think this is agreeable because of how bad we've got it right now. But then you could be wrong very quickly depending on what happens to UMV next. So I'm gonna say agreeable because of right now, but this could quickly change considering that this guy dropped as an Ultra, so the timing of his release can't be put equally to the timing of the Red Beast, but the Blue Beast is out of the question. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is agreeable. Good take, man. Got a take here from Yellow Not Mellow. This year has probably been the best in terms of unit design. Most characters feel unique and distinct. Sadly fell off during Fest. Okay, I agree. We got a bunch of new stuff this year. Let's go through everything. So Bomku, for example, his LF animation is beautiful, and the way they've utilized his gauge so that his main ability can be way more dangerous, that's nice. We have like Super Baby 2, his LF animation as well feels really nice, and the way they added that block thing that he has with his green card into the lock-in when his gauge is full, that's nice. Super 17, the absolute nuke of a unit, battle hour unit, yeah, animation's one of the best in the game when it comes to legendary finish, and he's actually super oppressive. Fusing Super Vegeta, fusing Gogeta Blue, I'm not even gonna explain. Ultimate Gohan, but God Goku went off. G4 don't need to be explained. Omega Shenron was beautiful with the indestructible. Broly looked amazing. Triku, you know, Gotank's amazingly fun in my opinion, and he's actually very valuable. And then Fest, I still think they did really well with their LFs. It's just that we've seen these units before. Heat Dome Final Kamehameha is crazy. I feel like Super Saiyan 2-3 was kind of lazy, but his transformation is nice. And Daima obviously went off, and then of course we got Beast. I didn't talk about the Ultras, but they speak for themselves for the most part. So yeah, this is very agreeable, like just gliding through it quickly with some of the characters. They went off this year, and it feels like you could somewhat have variety for the first half of the year, I guess. But boy, even just from a visual point of view, they went off, man. Meta reasons, that doesn't matter, but the characters felt really unique and distinct. And I will agree they sadly fell off, and I can understand why, but I feel like they look good no matter what. Mr. Policy Pepper from Lewis here. Beast Gohan isn't hard to deal with, even if you don't have a character like Daimaku to counter him. This is interesting because of two reasons. One, the 50% heal is insane with the break combo, and the increasing costs. A lot of people can't handle that if you're not doing damage. So I feel like some people will be like, this guy is smoking crack, Lewis. They're gonna tell you that you're crazy, but then some people will be like, oh, I understand, you know, you can get around him. You can just use Beast Gohan to counter Beast Gohan. You can use UMV, of course. You don't have to go for a red. I think it's just the long game, and the long game is against you because you have to deal with his active gauge. Outside of that, you just can't rise and rush or ult, or if you're going to, you have to be very careful with who you decide to do it with and when you do it with, in case you want to eat it on purpose, the counter, or you want to catch him. So like when he does a mid-range strike or something, or if you PV him, you have to be very, very careful at all times. I'm going to say neutral, and I feel like this will be a very, very debatable one, and depending on who the person is talking, they will agree or disagree. Personally, me, I agree, but I could easily see somebody disagreeing. Hot take here from Milkman, insane name. Hot take, transforming VB is a top 3 unit. With Beast out, people think his combos have been, I don't think I can say that, due to the card cost increased, though I'd argue Beast being squishy doesn't utilize it well enough for it to impact him severely. A lot of people have UMV number 1, and well, he's still his best answer. This is exactly how I feel, but I've noticed that a lot of people completely disagree. I think it's going to be depending on what star level you're fighting in Beast Gohan. Most people's Beast Gohans are going to be lower starred, so then he's not going to be defensively great, and I think a lot of people would agree that he's not the best defensively. So even though he can increase your cost, you can still get a long enough combo to avoid that fact, or do enough damage in the time that he's going to increase your cost to where it won't matter because you can get through him. So you could say, you know, transforming VB is not as good as people would say because of the increased cost, but you also have to consider it's not only Beast Gohan in this game. Transforming VB against everybody else is still insane, and that's enough to say that he could be top 3. So I kind of agree with this. I agree with this big time, but of course I think it differs based on your stars that you're being run on, you know. The lower end is going to be like, yeah, this is facts. The higher end is going to be like, well, these combos are long and he's tanking. So yeah, I'm going to agree. I think this is agreeable, but I can see someone disagreeing. But I thought most people would agree because of the experience. We got a take here from Eno Tatsuki VT. Looking back on it, UG4 is probably one of, if not the most healthy release of this year. He's been able to stop a lot of toxic abilities and is still able to. He was somewhat toxic himself, but now he's rather underrated because the devs technically killing him. This should go without saying, you know. If you're at the top of the game, I think you're never going to be liked by the masses no matter what, especially when you're a unanimous number 1 unit. But sometimes you need a unanimous number 1 unit, you know. And in comparison to what we have now, I think people really took him for granted. I'm not saying he was good, because goddamn, those one-shots were crazy, but it's just better than what we have now. If we're looking for a pure balance, it should be really somewhat negotiable between at least 3 units for number 1. And I think there you'd get a good balance. We need 3 contenders of power to really make it so that we don't have a major problem, because you could choose something and then still be at the top of the game. But when you don't have a choice, it feels like you're being suffocated. But now that G4's out of here and we got new management, everybody's looking back and seeing how beautiful G4 was, and they just weren't appreciating him. These long combo metas are really the worst thing, and that's why Beast is being appreciated too, and not seeing it as this toxic type of guy, because he's pretty much the only option you have to counter the long combo meta. So shout out G4, man. I agree with this take. I think most people would agree, but that doesn't take away from the fact that people hated him at the time for obvious reasons, because he was the #1, and not just that, the unanimous #1. So yeah, got a take here from Vixtree. They won't be releasing new Ultra Fusion Warriors ever again, other than maybe Ultra Fusion Zamasu. I think he is gonna be LF. I have to disagree, and I think most people would disagree too. There's a lot they could drop that they haven't, and that's not even including things that are like game originals. So imagine we get a Super Saiyan God Vegito. Imagine we get a Super Saiyan God Gogeta. And then they haven't even done the transforming stuff. So we can go from base to Super Saiyan, and that would be the DBS Broly. I mean the DBS Broly Gogeta, you know. We could go from base to Vegito Blue, and that would be an Ultra too. They could even make it a revival. You know, we haven't got a revival unit, so it'll be, what's his name? Trunks that revives, or Goku and Vegeta that revive into Vegito Blue. However you want to go about it, or Vegito Blue that revives into Sword of Hope Trunks. That's what I should have said. So I'm gonna disagree. You know, Fusion Warriors just make too much money. They just make too much. Got one here from Windy Lols. Blue Windy. Daimaku is a top 3 contender. I think this is agreeable. I don't feel like people would be disagreeing with this. Him being red gives him amazing value against any yellow, UMV and Beast Gohan. And then even outside of that, he's just a good unit. Some people overinflate him. They're talking about him like he's the next coming of Jesus Christ or something, you know, because he's red and can just counter these guys by element. But element isn't everything, as we've seen with green, yellow. Nobody wants to run purples when that team was infinitely comboing. So Daimaku, obviously he's a good unit and his elements in favor, so you can put him at top 3 very easily. It's not really a disagreeable thing. I don't feel like this is the hottest of takes, but some people probably do underrate him, which is why this is being said. But yeah, I agree. Andy Aid Gaming. Ultra Beast Gohan is severely overrated. He just does big damage. You can play around his unique gauge easily if you know what you're doing. He will age poorly once he is off boost. Okay. This, I can agree, because people, again, will just talk about him like he's next coming to Jesus Christ. He's just not. So this, I can agree. He just does big damage. This is just wrong. It's objectively wrong. But that's his main trait. You can play around his unique gauge easily. Well, I'm not even going to say it's like objectively. I know what you're trying to say, you know. So I don't want to be too harsh, because I would probably say this as well, because that's his main trait. So I'm just going to take this as a statement for that. You can play around his unique gauge easily if you know what you're doing. That's also very true. Once people get used to it, similar to Ultra Hit's time skip, they won't let you run it off, you know. But if you make one mistake, you're getting punished. And if you're in a combo against somebody else, you can still get punished. He will age poorly once he is off boost. Okay, so I'm going to ignore these two, because this is just you saying something about him, you know. But this is, I agree, and this I agree. Does that make sense? He is severely overrated, but he's still top 1, 2 in the game. People think he's unanimous #1, and I just don't agree. He will age poorly once it comes with boost. His only intention is damage, which is why he's wrote this. And everybody that's just damage, or their main thing is just damage, is gonna fall off. Beast got the active gauge, so it's all damage based. He also has the counter, but then he's gonna do damage off that. You can just waste his counter, which is why Rising Rush, Go Frieza are not being used. But yeah, agreeable. Red Ultra VB here, Sparking Zero Vegito Blue. Fusing Super Vegito is still a viable unit and will age well. He's already aging well because of his Rising Rush mechanic. There is a lot of buff cancellation, and there's also Beast Gohan, but once that's out of the way, because Beast Gohan's a damage unit, he's going to continue to age well. His Rising Rush mechanic will always be able to make a good comeback. They have to keep him suffocated for a long time to get rid of him, and that worries me for the future of the game. But yeah, he's obviously still viable. I was supposed to put this guy in my honorable mentions in my tier list, but some people would have him literally at 10. So I don't feel like this is disagreeable. Everybody would agree that you could use this guy and have an amazing time. He'll give you results, especially because he can also rush Majin Vegeta. So yeah, easily agreeable, bro. This is going to be the last take for the video from Nuclear 4. Leader Slot is the main suspect behind a bunch of these toxic metas like Part 1 Fest. UMV, fusing Vegito Blue, etc. They should make characters more restrictive to their teams and remove leader slot entirely. This isn't even that hot, but I feel like it's not getting talked about a lot. Well, you see the leader slot thing, it's gonna be a very difficult situation, you know? I don't think they'd ever remove it, but I do think they should start making kits more restrictive. Their decision making when it comes to making kits restrictive is hilarious, and I feel like they do that because they don't want people to feel like their new fancy shiny character, that's who their favorite character is from the anime, is pretty much washed up. For example, them putting restrictions on the girl's tag for Videl, I believe. Like, what the hell? Who decided that? Why would you restrict her of all people? You could have restricted Vegito Blue. You could have restricted Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You could have restricted Fusing Super Vegito. You could have restricted specifically Majin Buu Saga in general. But you just make these people so versatile, and then when it comes to the people that we kind of want to have fun with, you know, I don't know, maybe people want to have fun with Videl, you know what I'm saying. But the point is, the fun characters that are not hype characters get restrictions or just pushed to the side, and then the OP characters can be run loosely. This is such an agreeable take, bro. The leader slot is stinky. I don't think they should remove it, but they should definitely make things more restrictive, and that would help the game out a lot, which is why I'm going to say it's agreeable. Your intention behind this take, I understand it, especially since you gave a solution, but completely removing it, I don't think they should do that, because that would actually make the game too strict. Or the game was like that before anyways, but then people would only summon for certain characters. But with the leader slot, people summon everywhere now, and that's going to make the devs more money. We get better units, better animations, better looks. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying overall though. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I tried my best with these hot takes. I'm recording this late at night, but this is a New Year's video, so I hope you guys' New Year goes really well. I hope the whole year is amazing for you guys. Just keep your head up. Don't know how you guys' 2024 went, but hopefully 2025 is better. And even if 2024 was amazing for you, you gotta one-up yourself, keep leveling up. I enjoy making videos. These hot take videos are amazing. The interactions, how you guys flood in to give your opinion. I'll definitely be doing more interactive videos in the future, so stay tapped in. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server. I'll be streaming here and there nowadays, and the uploads are only getting better in quality. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.